For my Tahajjud girlies, like you know, I'm the biggest fan of Salatul Istikhara and Salatul Tahajjud. And today I wanted to tell you my personal Salatul Tahajjud routine. Or to say it better, like my routine when I wake up to pray Salatul Tahajjud. So here in Belgium, Fajr is around 7 a.m. Personally, I wake up 1 hour until 30 minutes before Fajr. So which means that I usually wake up at 6 a.m. so that I have time to do my wudu and to get on my prayer mat. So I wake up, I go to the bathroom. Sometimes I immediately make my bed. It depends on the days. Like if it is a work day, I immediately make my bed because I'm not going to go back to bed. And if it is not a work day or not a study day, then after Salatul Tahajjud and after Salatul Fajr, I go back to bed. So I let my bed like that. I go to the bathroom, I make wudu. Usually I take a shower. It makes me feel like more like clean, you see? Because I know I have an appointment with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I want to be like clean and shiny. When I make wudu, I get dressed up for salah. I go to my prayer mat and I set my intentions. I'm like, Ya Allah, I am here to meet you. I am here on our appointment. I know that you will hear me. I know that you are hearing me. And I know that you are listening to those who wake up at night to call upon you and to ask you for forgiveness and to ask you whatever we need. And then I start praying. Usually I do 2 rakats. Sometimes it can be 4, it can be 6, it depends, but usually it is 2. I make dua during sujood and I make dua after the prayer. It depends on time. Like sometimes when I feel like really making dua and I'm getting emotional, it is mostly in sujood. And like all time dua is always after salats. I always start my dua with اللهم إنك عفو تحب العفو فاعف عني اللهم إني على ذكرك وشكرك وحسن عبادتك اللهم ارحم والدي كما ربياني صغيرا. And then I start with some dhikr like astaghfirullah, 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 alhamdulillah, subhanallah, alhamdulillah. Mostly it is astaghfirullah and alhamdulillah. This is a routine I've built for myself. It is not something that is like it is not obligated or something like that. It's just a routine that makes me like get used to my tahajjud routine so that I have a fast like pattern in my prayers, in my tahajjud prayers, and that keeps me motivated. Then after my dhikr, I make my dua. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for forgiveness first of all, and then I make any dua I want, like any dua I want. And during my while I make dua, I constantly remind myself of the fact that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is listening. Like I know that He is listening. And sometimes I get like this weird feeling in my stomach like, Mariam, I don't know, is this realistic what you're asking for? And then immediately I tell myself, Mariam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it is to Allah that you're talking. Like nothing is impossible for Him. And then I remind myself of the hadith, I am as my servant thinks I am, and that nothing is impossible. And I ask things to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by using His name. Like Ya Qadir, Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, Ya Malikul Mulk, Ya Jabbar, Ya Aziz. And then when I finish my dua, my ad'iyah, I get my Quran. I have like in front of my prayer mats, we have our Quran. And I immediately start reading the surah I finished with yesterday evening. Like for me, for example, it's Hizb al-Mulk at this moment. I immediately start like reading a surah. That's it. That's it. Usually I have some time left to warm up my milk or to make my coffee, my tea. By the time it gets like time to pray Fajr, then I pray Fajr and immediately after I make my to-do list for the day. And this is something I do even if it is not a work day. Remember, if it is not a work day or a school day, study day, I go back to bed. But even then, before I go back to bed, I make my to-do list because then I have like a clear vision. When I wake up again, I'm like, okay, I need to do this and this and this. But believe me, mostly I don't get back to bed. A lot of work and study days. So that's it.